All right, today we are talking about volume of prisms and cones. So, the formula for the volume of a prism or a cone is it's going to be the same for each one. So our volume is going to be V for volume equals base uppercase B times H for height. So our V is volume, which is always going to be in units, whatever unit they give you, cubed. So we're talking cubic units now. And then the uppercase B stands for the area of the base, or the area of a base if there's two of them. And then the lowercase h is, of course, still height. So let's talk about applying this. So in number one, we have a triangular prism. And anytime we have a triangular prism, then the triangles are going to be our bases. So we have two congruent triangles in this case, and this front one gives us a height of 12 and a base of 10. And if we remember, the area of a triangle is area equals half the base times the height. So 1/2 times 10 times 12. So half of 10 is 5. 5 times 12 would be 60. So the area of our base is going to be 60 centimeters squared. And then our height in this case is going to be our 25. So our h is 25 centimeters. So we are going to do the area of our base, or 60, times our height of 25, and we should get 1,500. So our volume for this triangular prism is going to be 1,500 centimeters cubed. So the little 3, cubic centimeters. All right, so continuing on. Now, for our rectangular prisms, you can still use this area of the base times height. And in this case, we could say this bottom one is our base, and then the 4 would be our height. We could also say that our side, these 4x3 rectangles, are going to be our base, and then 7 is going to be our height. Now, when I was in school, what they taught us for rectangular prisms was the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So whichever way works better for you. To stick with the same formula, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 7x3 as my base. So I'm going to say the area of this base is going to be 7 times 3, because the area of a rectangle is base times height, or length times width, however you want to denote that. So 7 times 3 would be 21, so 21 centimeters squared. And then my height in that case would be 4. So now I'm going to do volume equals 21 times 4, which would, of course, give us 84 centimeters cubed. That little 3 again. Okay, now moving on to cylinders. Cylinders are, of course, going to have the same formula as the prisms, because they're really just circular prisms, essentially. But it's important to remember at this point that 1, the circles are always going to be our base, and 2, that the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, with the radius being the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the outside. There will be problems where you're given the diameter, and the diameter is twice the radius, or the radius is half the diameter, however you choose to remember that. So, that being said, our volume equals the area of the base times the height. So the area of our base in this case is going to be pi times 1.8 squared. So or I guess I should probably note that is uppercase B. So let's plug that into our calculators. 1.8 squared times pi. And I'm going to get 10.1787602. I'm just going to say the area of our base equals, we'll just say 10.18 for simplicity. So 10.18 times our height. So 10.18 times our height is going to equal our volume times 1.8. And our volume for this cylinder is going to be 18.324 centimeters cubed. I don't know why centimeters. All these pictures I chose were centimeters. It doesn't happen often. All right, so we'll follow the same step for this next equation, where the area of our base is going to be equal to pi times radius, which our radius in this case is 8 squared. So the area of our base is going to be 64 pi, and then we're going to multiply that, volume equals 64 pi times our height, which is 5. So I'm going to punch that into my calculator, which leaves me with 1,005.31 centimeters cubed, or about that much. If you have any questions, please let us know. Have a great rest of your day.